It takes millions of gallons of water to frack one well, and the entire Southwest is in a severe drought. Can we afford to take the high risk of contaminating the little water that we do have? The fracking process is the injection of millions of gallons of water, sand, and toxic chemicals blasted deep into the earth. The high pressure shatters the shale rocks and releases the natural gas. Methane gas and toxic chemicals often leach out and contaminate nearby groundwater.
All gas wells affect the water tables, which I found out, and everybody says, oh, it's not harmful to the water. All the gas industry says that, which I did find out it is harmful and it kills the animals, because I lost 10 calves and a cow, within a few months after they drilled, because they polluted the water. So I know it's dangerous.
Consider what happened in this Appalachian town in Pennsylvania. In the shale gas gold rush, Dimmock is the ghost town.
How many of you lost your water supply? And there are many more.
Yes.
Yeah. You put a match to your water and it went up in flames?
I can take my water, just put it in a gallon jug, shake it up, turn it up, and it'll explode like. Jerry?
This is a poor area. This is a perfect place to come in and drill. A lot of guys didn't have work. Now they're driving trucks, the bars are hopping, the rentals are full, so there is an economic boom here. But at what price?
I can live without natural gas. I can't live without my water.
There are 18 water wells that have been impacted by poor gas drilling in Dimmock.
Well, our problem is a lot of methane in the well, and a lot of barium, a lot of magnesium. What else was high?
Aluminum.
Arsenic, all of the metals were high.
Total dissolved solids.
We have extremely high methane levels at the well, enough that the well literally spews, erupts. It builds up so much gas, pushes the water all over the place. Comes out and just erupts and hisses, and then the fumes come out.
Do any one of you know of one case of groundwater contamination that has resulted from hydraulic fracturing? Start with you, Mr. Silver.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Mr. Giles?
I understand there's some anecdotal evidence, but I don't know that it's been firmly established.
So the answer is no, you don't know of it. All right, Mr. Larson?
I'll have to respond in writing. I'm not aware of all of our studies on that topic.
Well, but you've already answered. You're not aware of it. That's the question I asked you.
I've seen chemicals come out of the side, literally the side. It looked like the mountain was bleeding. It looks like a plateau. They had the pad here, and they have like the barrier fence around it, and there was just like this red, nasty water just oozing out the side of the mountain, just the side of the hill.
We've been doing 100,000 of these wells a year for many, many years. The technology has been around for 60 years. Basically, the technology is safe as far as we can tell.
They lie to you. If they'd tell you the truth, you wouldn't sign the lease. That's how they are. They don't tell you the truth. They're not truthful people. They just tell you whatever they want you to hear. That's how they work. And the money, what money they give you isn't worth it, because you need the water more than the gas. Water's more important than anything. And like I had a small time farm, rated 58 acres. That farm's useless. No water on it. You don't farm anymore with no water on a farm.
Now, looking back on it, I know all the problems they had out west. Why didn't those people ever warn us?
This is an aerial view just outside Trinidad, Colorado. Inside the red circle are thousands of frack sites. Just below the red circle, you can see the New Mexico state line. The white dots are fracking sites. Each site contains thousands of gallons of waste fluid, which is left in the open pits to evaporate. This evaporation releases harmful, volatile organic compounds into the atmosphere. The arrows indicate these toxic pools. This area also had a 5.3 earthquake on August 23, 2011.
And according to the U.S. Geological Survey, fracking might have something to do with the uptick in earthquakes in strange places since 2001. As the USGS put it, Recent earthquakes are, quote, almost certainly man-made, end quote. And the USGS has already linked nearly 50 recent earthquakes in Oklahoma, just in that one state, to underground fracking. So knowing what we know now about fracking and earthquakes, should we continue to let energy companies punch holes deep underground, risking more tremors? Dr. Tony Ingraffi joins me now. He is the Dwight C. Baum Professor of Engineering at Cornell University. Dr. Ingraffi, welcome.
Good to be back with you, Tom.
Isn't fractured rock part of the normal process of, at least the tectonic process of earthquakes?
When you create additional pressures or change the pressures down there by injecting these fluids under high pressure, you run the risk of causing something, a fault that has been stable, not wanting to slide. The second thing that happens is that hydraulic fracturing fluid by its nature is meant to be a lubricant. So we also have the possibility, even if we're not changing the pressures too much, we're lubricating a fault that has been in equilibrium for a long time, and therefore allowing it to slip and create a macroseismic event like a 5.3 earthquake in Oklahoma.
Eight miles to the north, in the town of Aztec, Chris Velasquez runs a ranch that's been in his family for 4 generations.
My dad's always run cattle, and my grandpa's always run cattle. We run cows ever since we were small with him, and he'd give us 1 or 2 head per year for helping him out. And that's how I built my herd up, a little bit at a time. Today, what we're doing is moving them from the contamination on our winter range to the high country where we run them. It makes me rest a lot easier, and I can sleep good at night knowing that them cattle are not going to get contaminated by oil and gas. The contamination, the dirty open containers, methanol, glycol, antifreeze, when they live open pits, that chemicals there are deadly. Sometimes they don't die on the spot. They'll walk 2 or 3 days or a month. And one spring I went up there and there's a lot of dead deer and carcasses laying all over the place.
We do know that in Wyoming and in Colorado and in Ohio and in northeast Pennsylvania and in West Virginia, there have been evidences of gas migration, contamination, and it wasn't there before you guys started drilling, so don't tell me it's a coincidence.